The last video, I started talking about the other Toppin, OB Toppin. I thought it was only right that this video, we start talking about our new Toppin, Jacob Toppin.
Oh, beautiful pass. Alley-oop to Toppin. There you go, Mike.
Now, we only got about 10 minutes of them, but in those 10 minutes, it was solid.
I'll tell you, he can kind of do whatever he wants athletically.
Jacob Toppin, we got some highlights. Now, my question is this going to be enough to get him over the hump into the roster? Probably not. He's probably going to be hanging out in Westchester for the majority of this year. But we got a Toppin highlight. But more importantly, we got a victory in our first preseason game. Yes, mind you, it was against the bottom side of the Boston Celtics roster. We struggled a little bit, but we pulled it out. We made things right, and we got the victory. Let's talk about all of that. Knicks win. Knicks basketball is back. I can't stop smiling. On the intro. What's good, CK Crew? It's your boy CK2K, and welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. People, I appreciate everyone that came through to the playback stream yesterday. It was a lot of fun. We got to watch preseason game. We got to talk some. We got to watch the game. My favorite thing is being able to react with you live while we're watching the game. So if you want to be a part of that for Saturday's game, simply hit the link in the description below or pinned in the comment section. Join up on the playback. All you need is Hulu TV, YouTube TV, or the best option would be League Pass, and you just are able to watch the game live with me. That's it. It's that simple. If you already got it and you're watching it on your own, then you might as well come and join us and have a good time. Yeah, link is in the description. Also, we're going to be live with more 2K tomorrow night, so come here and be a part of that. We'll talk more Knicks. You can talk trash on how good I am at 2K. Yeah. But yeah, you know the vibes. Let's get into the Knicks game, man. 114-107 was the final score in this game. The Knicks slip away with the win. It was great. A lot of keys to talk about, but I also want to start this off by reminding you people, this was the first preseason game against a team that played a back-to-back in the preseason, which makes zero sense to me. So I have to start with that. First of a preseason game. But what's not an overreaction is we saw some good things from our starters. Yes, we ended the first quarter a little bit slower once we started incorporating some substitutions and stuff like that. But from the main guys, it looked good. We looked fluid. The ball looked like it was moving a little bit more frequently. Starting with Julius Randle, who was 3 for 4 from the field. Looked really efficient. Was not trying to rush his comeback after the offseason of, returning from the ankle surgery and all that fun stuff. 4 for 4 from free throw line. Him and RJ improving their free throw shooting. But for me with Julius Randle, I love the pace. There was probably 1 or 2 instances where he brought the ball up and it was off of a quick rebound. So it wasn't anything like from an inbound he was bringing the ball up. For the most part, he was getting the ball to Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, and then eventually Immanuel Quickley to let them handle the guard position. And Julius Randle played off the ball, and that's what I want to see. I've been saying, I feel like Julius Randle thinks that he's not going to be able to get his stat line unless he is controlling the ball, and I think it's the complete opposite. I think Julius Randle could be even more deadly if he plays off the ball. I think he'll be more deadly if he is positioned against a mismatch off of the ball and Jalen Brunson or RJ or Quentin Grimes feeds him to go ahead and eat, because there was one possession on the baseline where he had a clean spin for a wide open layup. And those are the kind of things that he sets himself up for when he is playing off ball. So to see that little sample size of Julius Randle doing that, I really hope that that wasn't just a coincidence because they're trying something new because it's what they practiced in training camp, or if this is going to be the beginning of Julius Randle realizing this role. And the thing is, I still feel like he can be all NBA talent and still have great statistics when he does this role. I feel like he's going to be better. But seeing that sample size from Julius Randle, I loved it. And I really hope that's something that continues. Jalen Brunson played about 6 minutes of basketball. What do you want me to say? The dude looked like he was already in MVP form. The dude was going out there making shots that were so unnecessary in a preseason game, showing too much of the bag, floaters, jump shot. The dude looked like the NBA season. We were a game away from the playoffs to start up. 4 for 5 from the field. Missed the free throw. That's my big concern. You missed the free throw, Mr. Brunson. Get that together. Had his 1 assist on an alley-oop to Mitchell Robinson, which I learned yesterday on Knicks Fan TV. He only passed the ball to Mitchell Robinson 24 times last year. So hopefully this is the beginning of seeing that happen a lot more frequently, because going from Jalen Brunson, let's talk about Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson played the second most minutes compared to anybody in this game, right behind Jericho Sims, who we're also going to talk about in a little bit. And in my opinion, I felt like that was a little bit much. I feel like that was one of the main conversations of yesterday. Some people were fine with him playing a lot of minutes. People like myself thought that he did not need to play that many minutes. And here's the thing, I think he did not need to play that many minutes because I want him to be healthy going into the season. He took a few spills in this game where I'm like, okay, get him out. He looks great because Mitchell Robinson looked great. The offensive rebounding was there. I think he had more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds, a total of 7 rebounds. The dude had a CK type stat line defensively with 2 steals and 3 blocks, 5 for 6 from the field. Like, yes, unfortunately, he missed his free throws after showing off on Twitter all season long. He's been working on the free throws, which is fine. I'm completely fine with that because everything else he did was was damn near perfect. He was a plus 11, which was third to Quentin Grimes and RJ Barrett. Mitchell Robinson looked polished and looked great. In my opinion, he looked a little too gassed in this game, which is completely fine. It's the first preseason game. You're getting the rust off, so it's fine. But even while looking gassed, he still played tremendous in this game. Mitchell Robinson looked good, so I just don't think he needed to play 23 minutes. I think you could have had him at the same 18, 16 minute mark for the game and call it. But he looked great. He looked great. Before we get into Jericho Sims and those experiments and more of the bench side, I want to get on RJ Barrett and Quentin Grimes because yesterday I made a whole declaration about Quentin Grimes, and I said with RJ Barrett, I'm not really worried about him. I'm just more worried about the efficiency. And RJ Barrett yesterday, though he was 1 for 6, but he still ended with 12 points. He missed the shots. I'm not worried about it. First preseason game. Talk to me in the regular season in that first week, and if this is happening again, then we can be a little bit more concerned. When the shot wasn't going down, he was also forcing his way to the rim, utilizing his biggest strength, which is his strength. And that got him to the free throw line 9 times exact. And how many times did he make those free throws? All 9 times. Those are the kind of things I'm looking for. There's a reason why you look at his stat line. He has 12 points, was 1 for 6, but still had a team high plus 17 because his effectiveness was there. As I always say, if you can't affect the game one way, affect it another way. The shot was not hitting. He was getting good shots. They weren't going down, but he was getting to the rim, drawing contact. And I think that is going to be the main catalyst in what RJ Barrett's game is going to be this year. I want to see RJ Barrett get to the rim and either draw a foul, finish the layup, or be able to draw enough contact to dish it out to an open man, whether it's Grimes, whether it's Brunson, whether it's Julius Randle, who's going to be playing off ball a lot more this year. I'm going to speak it to existence. I think RJ Barrett is going to have a tremendous year if what we saw yesterday continues to be the mindset of how he plays the game. Yes, I would like the shot to go down, but there was a lot of positives in the way that kid was playing yesterday. All right, we got through the starters. Let's talk about the other stuff. We saw some experimenting by Tom Thibodeau, and we saw an unlikely face play in the game. Now, who that unlikely face is, I'm talking about none other than Mr. Evan Fournier. For whatever reason, some people were surprised to see Fournier. What surprised me was the fact that he was the first one off the bench. I mean, him and Quickley were pretty close to coming off the bench around the same time, but Tibbs went immediately to Evan Fournier. I think it's simply for the fact that, wing play. But other than that, I mean, it was with everything that's been going on in the preseason. We heard Tibbs talk about the reason why he benched him last year. And then you heard Fournier follow up by saying that he can help this team. And in yesterday's game, offensively, he did do that. Now, mind you, the numbers weren't as great. 4 for 10 is not, tremendous, but going 3 for 7, 43% from 3 is a solid stat line. I think, again, where Evan Fournier lacks, and we saw it yesterday, is on the defensive end. I feel like he gets lost a little too easy defensively for a team where at that position, especially on the wing, we need them to be attentive at all times defensively. There was that period where he first checked in and we had a 9-point or an 8-point lead, and they went on a 9-point swing and they took the lead. So a lot of those little things are the reasons why I think Fournier gets that short end of the stick. And I'm just as critical as anybody else when it comes to Fournier, and I believe that I feel like we can get better minutes from other people other than Fournier. But the shot was pure. I mean, one thing I will never say against Evan Fournier is how nice of a 3-point jump shooter he is. But we need more than just shooting. You can go out there and get 11 points, but if you've given up about 12 and 13, it really cancels itself out. And I think that's the main thing I'm looking at with Evan Fournier if he's supposed to get in the lineup, is how does he affect the game on the other side on top of his scoring. And Evan Fournier yesterday, as good of his shooting numbers were, I still feel like he didn't really stop much defensively which didn't really counteract with his 11, in my opinion. But the main guy of yesterday's game was Immanuel Quickley. I went a little too long without talking about Immanuel Quickley because Immanuel Quickley showed a lot of great stuff. First of all, the man wants to get paid. You can see it right now. He is showing the world, pay me. Pay me immediately. In 23 minutes, Immanuel Quickley went 8 for 14, 21 points, 2 for 5 from the 3. Need him to make the free throw a lot more consistently. Immanuel Quickley in his rookie season was one of the best free throw shooters in the league, and now he's 3 for 5 from the free throw line. I'm hoping he goes back to those free throw ways because, it's, like I said, we need all the free throws we can get. Other than that, Quickley looked great. Quickley and Mitchell Robinson, to me, looked like they both yoked up over the offseason in a good way. Mitchell Robinson's base looks strong, and Immanuel Quickley just overall looks strong, which to me is a very good thing because defensively, Quickley last year took a step that I was really happy about, because if we're gonna have this many guards on this team, we need the guard position to be ready to defend a bit taller guards or forwards or wings on the other teams. I use the example of Jaylen Brown because the team we played, and literally he's right there, but that's what I want to see. I want to see him be able to stay in front of Jaylen Brown on a switch, or be able to stay in front of a Jason Tatum on a switch or whatever, or be able to stay up even against a Drew Holiday on a regular basis. So that's the kind of stuff I'm excited to see, man. Quickly, he's just fine-tuning that 6-man role to perfection. And you know, if he's one of those guys where he ends up being one of our leading scorers off of the bench, that's only going to be a plus for us going into next season. But he looked like he's ready to get paid. He looked like he's ready to get paid. And last but not least, let's talk about Miles McBride and Jericho Sims. Jericho Sims played the most minutes of everybody in this game. We saw Tom Thibodeau try playing Jericho Sims at the 4 next to a guy like Mitchell Robinson. Their skill sets are a little too similar to have them playing at the same time, where I feel like it will not work, especially against a Boston Celtics where a lot of the time you see Jason Tatum play the 4. Mind you, I know that wasn't the situation tonight, but Tom Thibodeau probably thought he can get away with it. But if this is something that we're going to try and do, and which is running Jericho Sims with the 4, if you want my opinion, I'm fine with them running 2 bigs at the same time in certain instances. I'm fine with it. But I'd much rather it be a Jericho and an iHeart rather than a Jericho and a Mitch. I think you would be better if you ran iHeart and Mitch. If anything, let iHeart run the 4 position, because though he doesn't use it very often, iHeart does have the capability to shoot a jump shot, whether it is in the mid-range or from 3. And also, he is really good at moving the ball from the high post, which leaves the paint open for Mitchell Robinson or Jericho to hover around and do what they do. Mitchell Robinson being the offensive rebounder that he is, and Jericho being the high flyer that he is, anticipating alley-oops or being ready for the rebound himself. So Isaiah Hartenstein at the 4 makes a little bit more sense for me if we're going to do a 2 big man kind of situation. But, you know, he tried it, and it's preseason. I invite this kind of behavior from Tom Thibodeau. I love experimenting in this time, because this is the time to do it, because maybe it would have worked. Maybe Jericho at the 4, we would have saw him have a hook shot that we didn't know about. Alex yesterday on Knicks Fan TV joked that maybe Jericho has this jump shot that he didn't utilize yet. Like, it could be anything like that. So this is the time to try this stuff out, especially when you're playing against the D League, not the G League, the D League of the Boston Celtics. Try that stuff out. I just don't think it's going to work long term. That's all. That's something that can work if you run a 10-man rotation, but in a 9-man rotation, it seems like only one of those 2 are really going to get consistent burn, because you already have to give minutes to Hart when he's healthy. You got to give minutes to DiVincenzo, and then you also got to get the minutes to Immanuel Quickley. And that's 3 of those 4 players that are going to play off the bench. That 4 spot is probably most likely going to be Isaiah Hartenstein. If you go to 10-man rotation and you have iHeart and Jericho, then that's a different conversation. I feel like that is a formidable 5 players that you can play off the bench that you can utilize in any which way, whether you put RJ Barrett with that unit at the bench, you put Grimes with that unit on the bench, you play Jalen Brunson with some of those guys. I feel like then you have a little bit more wiggle room to do stuff. I'm always a fan of a 10-man rotation, especially with a team like this that's small. If you run it like that, then you get more availability. But knowing Tibbs, he likes 9-man rotation, so where does that put Jericho Sims? Let me know your thoughts about the game. What are you overreacting about? What did you like? What did you dislike? Let me know all that in the comment section below. Before we do anything else, I want you to know that even though I'm not able to respond to all your comments, I do see the comments, so I want to pick a few comments to talk about here real quick. These are all coming from my previous video. Parrish Harris said, I finally figured it out. Tom Thibodeau coaches like a mad scientist who can never get his inventions and chemical compounds to work properly. I see it. I 100% see it. Arms. He says a CK2K uploaded a video. First of all, what? No way. This has to be AI. No, it's me. And regarding my last video talking about Deuce finding minutes, Jacob Stone said Deuce is definitely not in the rotation unless someone is injured. He is great insurance for this year and will probably be on another team next year. Everybody can't play, and it's a good problem to have. I mean, you're not entirely wrong. I do worry that we will probably lose Deuce for nothing. I think there's a lot of value to what Deuce McBride does. But yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, if you bring in Dante DiVincenzo, for the most part, he is an upgrade. I don't think he's an upgrade defensively, but he is an upgrade offensively, which is where we do need a lot of help. So yeah, Deuce might be the odd man out, unfortunately. But I liked what he did last night. Hopefully we'll see more Deuce in the preseason. I do think he's going to make it a little bit tougher on Tom Thibodeau to decide whether to play him or not. We'll see. Anyways, I appreciate you guys as always. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a live stream. So be there, playing some 2K, talking about the Knicks, all kinds of good, fun stuff. I appreciate you guys as always. I'm out of here. Let's get it. Knicks basketball is back, baby. I'm hyped. I'll see you on the next one.
Cold pizza Tuesday. I got food up in the fridge. Y'all keep looking for that new wave. I think I like it how it is.